So again, we will be introducing our guest speaker. We have two of them. We have Damilola Elliott and Babatunde Adewale. They are both professionals in their field. They have been in the field for so long, and I've enjoyed their services, their knowledge. Time passed, and then I'll go straight into Damilola Elliott's profile. It started as a hobby, he said, and he always knew he had creative and artistic traits, but not sure what they were. Back in high school, I used to sketch real well. I need to pick that up again. Okay, we'll probably pick him up on that to see where he is with that. Later on, he got his first camera. He calls it point and shoots. Canon 2 megapixel camera. I really loved that camera. I shot my first wedding with it. From then on, it was clear that photography was going to be an important communication tool for him. I was I still really do enjoy shooting weddings. There are just so many priceless moments and emotions to capture. By the way, he also shot my wedding, so yes, I can attest to the work, the professional expertise of Damilola Elliott. When I'm not globetrotting to photograph social events, it's very likely I'm capturing landscapes, creating private and commercial portraits, documenting concerts like the Experience Lagos, which I've been doing for over 18 years, shooting industrial and architectural facilities, food setups, or clicking away from the back seat of of a helicopter for aerial shots. Damilola have been I have been able to broker partnership between Damel Photography and several architects, real estate firms, and other industry professionals to produce architectural, interior, exterior, real estate, and construction photography. This service is also extended to the shipping, oil and gas industry when it comes to documenting of oil rig, FPSOs, and the likes. See this story, it could go on, but suffice to say that I absolutely love what I do. And yes, I can attest to the fact that he loves what he does. You see a lot of architectural pieces in this profile is because Daniel is an architect by profession. So that's why we have that going on there, I believe. Welcome, Damilola Elliott.
Thank you.
I don't, okay. And you will notice that today, since I'm the only dark-skinned person here, both of them are women. And I was wondering, does it have something to do with photography?
Sorry, I need to correct you.
Okay.
I'm also dark-skinned.
Okay. Oh, okay. No, I mean of the host and the presenter and the guest.
Oh,
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka. Thank you for joining us. So we would also quickly take Mr. Babatunde's profile. Mr. Babatunde is a dynamic professional excelling as both a certified business analyst, I smell money, and photographer. With a unique blend of analytical prowess and creative vision, I have a multifaceted approach to every project. We'll hear all about it very shortly. As a business analyst, I leverage data-driven insights to drive strategic decision-making and optimize business performance. This analytical expertise seamlessly translates into my photography career, where precision and attention to details are paramount. As an accomplished photographer, I have a passion for capturing life's most intimate and memorable moments. I see a link between the two of them. So it's not just by the color of their skin, it's by what they do as well. Specializing in portraits, wedding, lifestyle, and commercial photography, I blend creativity with technical expertise to produce stunning visuals that tell a story. With a keen eye for details and unique ability to connect with subjects, I create timeless portraits that reflect the essence of each individual. In the realm of wedding photography, I am dedicated to preserving the magic and emotion of your special day ensuring that every cherished moment is beautifully documented. In addition to portrait photography, I excel in lifestyle and commercial shoots, delivering high quality images to elevate brands and connect with audiences. Whether capturing the spontaneity of everyday life or creating compelling commercial narratives, I consistently exceed clients' expectations. Currently based in Winnipeg, Canada, I'm available for projects both locally and internationally with a commitment to excellence and a passion for visual storytelling. I'm the perfect choice for all your photography needs. Hey, so welcome very much to
Thank
this.
you so
Thank you
much.
very much for being here. I'm so, it's like you're just here to collect all our money.
Oh my God, I'm so flattered right now. Thank you so much, Toke. I really appreciate it. Thanks for
Yes,
bringing me onto this
and
platform.
thank you very much. And Tunde shot my, he was one of those that shot my 40th birthday. Dami was the one that shot my wedding. So you see, two orgas in the field came all out and we brought them here. Thank you for joining us today. We will delve, we've introduced them. So just delve into why we are here today, trying to see how they've been doing it, how we as your, let's say, laymen wanting to come into photography can, learn from your experience and your knowledge. And also, I'm not sure, I'm not seeing you guys, so I'm trying to, let me be sure you're okay. Yes, I see you now. You're enlightened and that your videos are from time to time spotted on. Okay, so how would, you know, we would from time to time we'll learn from you and how to, in this world of AI, everything is AI. Even me, I think I'm a photographer right now with AI. So how to leverage AI and how to also leverage our skill, not to bring the human aspects of storytelling into this, especially when it reflects on brands. And I know you guys do a lot of commercial photography as well. So we'll start with Damel and then we'll take it from there to see how we get to do all this. So Damel, take it away. Your journey into, I know we've read a little about it, your journey into photography and how you've been able to, establish yourself as the go-to photographer in the whole of Nigeria. I know Dami has handled several projects, and the same thing for today as well. He's handled a lot of projects, and he's winning right here in Canada. So, bring us into your world.
All right. Can you hear me clearly?
Very loud and clear.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Thank you for putting this together, Token, and for having me share a little of my life experience for everyone to hear.
Thank you.
Where do I begin? Like I stated in the bio, I'd always had creative abilities. Like I could draw, I could do so many things with my hands, but while in secondary school, but I just didn't know what exactly it was. So JAM came and my mom directed me to field architecture in Unilag, and that's how we started. And what triggered photography was a course in the third year. We're doing something on street furniture. So we were asked to go document things on the streets and all of that. And then I just got this, 2 megapixel Canon camera back then. And I saw that, wow, okay, this thing is real magical. I could actually do something. It wasn't film, it was digital, because I had a film camera back then as well. But digital was like the new thing as at that time. So I went ahead, took the photos, and the results came out like really good. And the lecturer was like, this is really nice. Took some pictures of a zoom bound body way and all of that. Yeah. So from there, I started saying that, okay, Como, I think, if I'm not going to be drawing, sketches and all of that, I'm probably going to be using this camera as a tool. So it just started from there. And from that one project in Unilag, it's taken me all over the world, and to the point that right now I don't even practice architecture. As a matter of fact, sometimes when people call me, oh, that you went to Unilag architecture, I'm like, oh yeah, actually I did, because that part of my life has been so relegated to the past that it's more of who I am now as a photographer that shines forth. But the thing is that I do a lot for practicing photographers and real estate developers and things like that. So there's several estates across the country where they require our services, because they understand that, look, if they want to tell a story of their project from groundbreaking to completion, they need somebody who they don't need to start explaining angles and things like that to. They know that, look, this guy knows what he wants to do and he knows how to deliver the message. So they just call me and I get to work with them. So there's several projects that we've been able to profile in and outside Nigeria, with stuff in editorials and things like that for both private and government sector. So this aspect of my life is one that I'm really proud of at this stage. Aside from dealing with architects and real estate and everything, my first main commercial aspect of photography was doing weddings. And that same 2 megapixel camera was the used to shoot my very first wedding, and the bride did not have any idea. She just called the photographer and she didn't know what I was going to use, and this was like, how many years ago? Maybe some 20 years or thereabout or something like that ago. And we've gone to evolve, from there, that we now shoot weddings in Nigeria, Dubai, US, Seychelles, and all around the world and things like that. And the truth is, I've come to realize that photography is a means of communication. Whatever works for you, recognize it. And for me, photography is what I use to communicate what I feel, to communicate or to express my emotions, at a particular point in time. If it's something that has to do with a client, I'm trying to capture the moments of that client at that point in time. And if it's something that has to do with, documentary work, then I'm capturing the essence of that moment, that environment, that situation, So for me, photography is a priceless tool and a means of communication that, if you're gifted with it, you don't know what God has blessed you with if you're misusing it.
Thank you very much. So Tunde, take it away from there.
Wow, thank you so much, Toke, once again for giving me the opportunity to be here. And good afternoon, good evening, everyone on this platform. Photography, well, it's been like almost a decade now that I've been into it. Well, I started from volunteering, probably like I would say from our worship center. We just show interest in the particular department, and we tend to say, okay, media department, and we're just there. We don't really know what those items are, but we admire the people using it. But over time, we are given the opportunity to also kind of use those equipment, and from there, I picked up interest. And while I picked up interest, I begin to see people doing it around me. Someone once says that if you don't have interest in something, you wouldn't even know that those things were around you. So immediately I picked interest as I seen, mentors that that have actually gone ahead of me in this particular domain. So immediately I reached out to them. Oh, I want to volunteer again. I begin to study what they're doing, how they capture these images, how they do the editing, and also started, holding reflectors. Started from holding reflectors for people and all that. And right there, I was blessed with the camera from one of the people that I volunteered with. I think it was a 550D, one of the Canon first DSLRs that they produced at that time. And with that, I was scheduled to go shoot for people. I wasn't so sure what I did, but immediately I showed up, with the images. My mentor would say, "Hey, today you did a good job." From there, I begin to like, okay, I think this is the right part. And of course, I begin to develop myself by going on YouTube, watching videos on how to sharpen my skills, how to get better in what I was doing. And of course, I begin to get recommendations into, as Damien said, to public sector, private sector events, AGMs. I was capturing. I was like, okay, my pictures were featuring on dailies. I was like, okay, all right, I think this is a good path. So, because I was getting blessed with it, I never dropped it. As my profile said, I'm also a business analyst. So then I was in the bank. I was in photography on the side. So immediately I moved to Canada. I moved to IT. Then of course I didn't drop it. My basement, I used it as my studio. So I started buying those equipment, started using them. I brought some items from Nigeria. I bought some here in Canada. And that's it. I began to get referrals, I never left volunteering because I believe that whenever you drop a skill, you tend to forget that particular skill. So I kept volunteering, in any sphere I am, in terms of media, in terms of photography. I'm always happy to share my knowledge with people. Even when to reach out to me, I say, wow, I'm privileged. Any question I want to comfort, my little way I'll be able to, share my skills. So yeah, that's a little story about how I got started, into photography. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you. I've come to realize that so many people that are gifted, especially creatives, we kind of start from the church or from the mosque, most time volunteering for the community. Because myself and Dami was my boss at HOTR, and we're in the multimedia department. He owned the camera. He's the boss there, and he's been doing it for several years. And that's always good to know, because again, when you give to the community or to service, you always get something back, and it helps you also develop yourself. So thank you for that intro. So my next question is, we are on this platform saying we want to go into photography, where do you think we should start from? What kind of skills do you think we should have? Is it curiosity? Is it just the love for camera? Because right now everybody with a phone thinks they are a photographer and a professional. So what skills should we have, and what kind of education should we also pursue? When I say education, not necessarily tertiary education or university education, but soft skills, maybe from Google, just share insights into that. Thank you.
Okay, so what I'll say is this. The best camera you have in the world, excuse me, is what you have with you at that point in time. Excuse me. So it could be your phone, it could be a $5,000 DSLR camera, whatever it is. Whatever you have in your hand at that point in time is what you should start with. Now, you have several people who are doing photography as a hobby. You have ladies who love to take photos of their children with her phone, and they do some amazing photos. I've seen some beautiful stuff, and I'm like, actually, I'm not going to take this as a side hustle business, You have some people who just love going on holidays, and they just take photos. For example, there was a destination event we did in Morocco. It was a 40th birthday, and I was the official photographer for the event. I had my main professional camera, and I also had my phone with me. But would you believe that when we were delivering the images, I delivered more photos from my phone, and they did not even know. They did not even know the difference. You know why? Because I've been able to build up that skill that whatever tool you give me, I would deliver on it. So for anyone who is thinking about going, in quote, professionally into photography, look, right now is the best time to start, because right now information is everywhere. You can be sitting in a bus and you're holding your phone and you're reading something, unlike back in that day where internet, you go to one cyber cafe. What was YouTube? We used to order books from someplace and we wait for it to be delivered through NIPOST and all those things. But right now information is everywhere. And then with the advent of AI, virtually everything or anything is possible. So if anyone is interested, I'll say, look, start from where you are with what you have. Enjoy it first as a hobby. Don't go saying, okay, I'm going to quit my 9 to 5 or whatever, or I'm not able to do this in my life. I want to go into photography because XYZ is doing it and they're making so much money or things like that. No, you're going to fail. You have to understand what your strength is, first of all. And then look at, okay, what aspect of photography do I even want to major in? Because you have a ton. There are people who all they do is wedding photography. There are people all they do is portrait photography. There are people all they do is food photography. Some all they do is real estate and architecture photography. There's some people it's just insects that they do. All your biology textbooks, there are photographers that actually captured all those insects you're looking at. All those flowers and everything. You have those who just do wildlife. There are those who just do sports. So, and there are also those who are able to combine more than one. Some of us are able to do that, and not that you're a master of, or you're a jack of all trades and master of none, but you're a jack of several trades and master of those several trades as well. So if anyone is going to start where you are. Pick up a hobby, just pick up your phone, go around your neighborhood, take your selfies. I've seen some people take selfies, and I bowed like, is this a selfie? Like, how did you do this? Because you just understand the right angles. It suits you well. So one thing that many people have talked to me about, and I think is a major problem for some, is they feel because they do not have the resources to start big, then they can't start. So they feel like, Dami, you use this $7,000 camera to do this. And people hear, and what really irks me sometimes when I go to an event and I take a photo and I show the client, they were like, man, your camera is mad. And I'm like,
it's me, not the camera. Well, it's the camera.
Like, what are you talking about? So people are not even really looking at the person, they're looking at the equipment. So many people have been deceived that it is actually the tools that get the job done, not the artist behind the tools or the brain behind the tools. You understand? So focus on building what you want to develop, right, with what you have, and then take up the step. If you now want to do it professionally, yes, you don't have to go to a tertiary school or anything like that. There are 1,000,001 courses online. YouTube is the world's greatest teacher right now. You can find anything on YouTube, and from there you can develop your skills, build up, your portfolio, especially the area of photography you feel you want to develop and be known for. Build up on that and begin to share it. Instagram is there, Facebook is there, TikTok is there, Snapchat, name it, and all these things are free. And you can do sponsored posts, let people see what you do, let people know what you're capable of doing. And from there, somebody can see you and say, man, I like how you did this. So can you do this? How much is it going to cost? And that's how it was for me. When I started, I was doing a lot of free stuff. But then the free stuff translated into paid stuff because I was able to stand my ground with a solid portfolio. So that's why right now, I can beat my chest and say, like, you know what, bring it on, we're ready. And sometimes when some people reach out to me and they say, that Jamel, can you do this for us so that and we can give you publicity? And I just like,
your publicity. We've been there.
The fact that you came to me means that my publicity is already
somewhere. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So cut that crap out and let's talk business. If you want me to do something for you, free, complimentary to support you, that's a different thing. Don't bring that, let me do this so that I can get light shining. Hello, I've been shining light for others for ages now. So, that's something that we shouldn't even, get into.
Yeah.
So I would encourage anybody who wants to start, don't give up. Don't go thinking that, look, if you don't have a particular tool, you cannot start. Trust me, there's inflation everywhere. You may never start with. But at least you have a phone. Your phone might not be iPhone X15 Pro Max Square Cube. It might not be Samsung Galaxy Ultra Zion. It might just be a phone that has a good camera. Start from there. And that's the truth. And from there, you just never know what's going to happen next. But be consistent. That's what I'll say.
Be consistent. Tunde, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm just going to take the words from Dami. I mean, he said be consistent. And also, he said something that starts from where you are. I mean, for myself, I might have started with a camera, but someone could start with just a phone. I mean, the Samsung phones that are doing right now are doing very well. They blur the backgrounds. I mean, those things are like the things that cameras of the 550D, the Rebels were doing those days. I'm not saying that you need to take a very big camera to start shooting before you can actually start. So having said that, creating having a niche for yourself is one other thing that you need to find out. For me, I started doing portrait because I was among I've been working on a lot of around corporate people, And I found out that I checked most of their LinkedIn profiles, I checked their, Microsoft Teams, and I noticed that, well, most of them just use a phone and it doesn't deplete with the ad. So I said, okay, let me just be on portraits. So back then, I think I checked which of the backgrounds were good. I noticed that the dark gray background was better for them because we're going to bring out the image. I looked at what the lights would be good. So I started taking for free. So I'll tell my friends, I want to take you for free. So as I was taking people for free, I was now getting called for paid jobs. So I mean, another thing is, if you want to start, don't start too big. Start with free items. Shoot a wedding for free. Shoot somebody's trying to showcase an apartment. They really want to showcase an apartment. Volunteer. I mean, use your phone, take the pictures. You never can tell who is on the other side that is actually looking at your images that would actually pay for the ones you've actually you've done for free. So for me, I would say, please start from where you are now. Use your phone, take your images, look at online, look at for instance, before I go for a shoot, I usually use I go on maybe like Pinterest, go on Instagram to just get inspiration of what I actually need to do at the at the site. Apart from that, we've already created like a mood board for the shoot, but I still go ahead and check, because there's nothing that you're actually going to do that someone else has not done before. So it's better you just have an inspiration of what you're going to do, what you're going to meet, so you won't meet surprises. I mean, the first white person I shot, I don't want to say that, but the first white person I shot was like, oh, have you shot someone like me? If I say, wow, well, I've shot someone like you before, but even if I don't post it, because of course people have privacy, kind of documented that you don't post those online. So because people check on your Instagram page and they don't see such images, doesn't mean you've not done those jobs. So I had to tell the person I've shot it before. So I had to say with confidence, and it was because truly I'd done it before. And probably I think I did it for free. I can't remember that time, but of course, because I've done it before, the person that's going to pay will not ask me that how much the person paid for that image. So what I would say is, if you're going on this journey, have a niche for yourself. Know what the best for you. Know what is the best for you. Then look at the markets that you are going into, and look out for how much are they paying your kind of images in that field. You don't want to charge yourself less, because I remember very well that when I started doing, like just do something free, people were now, I had many people when I like, oh, Tunde, this is for this question and all that. But I said, okay, yeah, now I started charging. And I was charging moderately based on what is the market rates, market charges and all that. And of course, this journey is very interesting, because it's something that if they wake me up to go and start shooting people now, that's what I'm going to be doing, because I enjoy shooting people. I don't get tired. The only time when I'm tired is when I'm actually start editing, because that's when you need to cross the T's and dot the I's and all that. But for other things, like start from where you are. Starting small is actually going to give you that baby step into what you're going to be achieving in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Starting small is essential. So we have no excuse anymore to say, okay, I haven't bought my camera, I haven't saved enough to buy a camera, a good camera of good stuff, good money. And with the dollar exchange rate right now, we might really never get to start. Mr. Emeka dropped this, and I just wanted to say, he says a picture can likely be taken by anyone, but a great picture can be taken by great photographers with keen sense of details and creativity for visual storytelling. Thank you so very much. I like that quote.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you for that. Yeah, brilliant. So, in the age of AI, how do we, one, be up to date on technology, because it's moving so fast? Then how do we keep our value and our pricing system? Because again, everybody thinks, oh, I can take a picture with my phone and then do some quick edits and it's looking all nice and everybody's liking it. Does that make me a professional photographer? And even if that makes me one, what happens to the photographers that have done it over the years, that have all the expertise, that has the book, that have gone through school of putting all the hard work to create their brand? How do we leverage on AI to stay on top of our game And how does that also affect our pricing? Because, for instance, if you're coming to someone to say, oh, maybe to a business to say a small business, because the small business owners are always like to price us like, they are pricing Pepe. It's not their fault. It's because of, again, inflation of funds. But then, how do we still charge, how we are to charge, and how do we stay abreast of technology?
Okay. Right now, AI, for lack of a better explanation, knowledge is a leveler for everybody. You understand? It's a leveler. AI is a leveler. I started photography when there was still film. You understand? From film, I went to when digital started, all these tiny 2 megapixel, 10 megapixels, and all of that, and blah, blah, blah. Now we're going from that, we're talking mirrorless cameras and things like that. You have to be ready to adapt. You understand what I'm saying? If I have the opportunity to shoot film now, I'll still do it. There'll be vintage images and classics and all of that. But you have to be ready to adapt. Now, this AI trend that everybody is saying, I must say, I believe it has been here longer than many people actually give credit to it for. Ever since the age of technology, AI has existed. Then what is AI? Artificial intelligence is just something else, basically, that had always existed. For example, when you use your remote control, right? How is your remote control communicating with your TV? Hello? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So yeah, it's there. That is how AI is being used for a lot of things. You're putting in a prompt on your remote control, and you're sending it on a message to do something on your TV or on your sound bar, your home theater, or whatever. So when you press that button, it relates that message to the sensor there, and that device responds. So that is basically what AI is. So whether you're just starting or you've been in the game for 120 years, the leveler right now is knowledge. So if you have the right knowledge, you can do anything you want to do with it. Now, how does that earn you more money? Well, or how does that set you apart? Or how does that, make you the reference person? It is your style. That's it. It's your style. You would watch some certain movies right now, and without even thinking about who the director is, you say, this is James Cameron. This is this, and this is, because you know their style. You would see some art pieces, you say this is a Van Gogh, or this is a Picasso, or something. So if there is a general denominator, which is AI or technology, then it doesn't matter who you are. It is what you can do with it. There are some people, they'll say, this guy is such a big photographer or small, or whatever the case is, and you're looking at their online profile and you don't see so much, and you're wondering, but yet this person is doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then you see somebody who is just starting, and you're wondering that, okay, this person has not done anything at all, because you're basing their skill sets on what they choose to reveal to you online, Meanwhile, they're getting a lot of things done behind the scenes. So the truth is this, look, seize the moment. It's not going to get any less technological. It's going to get more technological. So the earlier, the better you use the opportunity. You seize the opportunity and you make the most of it. You'll be able to set yourself apart. You'll be able to stand out in the crowd that, look, you could be in a group of 30 photographers, for example, taking the same project, but it is your own image that would stand out. You understand what I'm saying? So just keep at it and ensure that whatever you're doing, like what my colleague said, do stuff for free. Start off free. You understand what I mean? Because what you need is a portfolio. when you have your portfolio, you're good. You understand what I'm saying? Once you have a portfolio, you can showcase something, and always showcase what is your work. We've gone for several presentations, and some people in the group, or in the committee, were like, "Oh, that which website did you download this from?" And rather than taking offense, I now show them the original photo. Then look at the raw file, look at the date it was taken, look at where it was taken. And they're like, "You mean you're the one that took this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we don't all steal." You understand what I mean? And that has happened because I've been able to stand my ground and building myself that, look, I want you to be able to look at any work of mine and I'll say that, yes, I did that. Not that I stole that. You understand? So those are the things that would help set you apart.
Okay, thank you very much. Cindy.
I mean, I was just gonna give a brief story. I mean, I read about feedback of the role of AI, in the photography, film industry, creativities, and all that. And it got me thinking as a photographer that our gift actually lies in our ability to connect, with our emotional, with our audience emotion. If I'm gonna put it that way. So what do I mean by that? AI tool, even though it's efficient and innovative, but it can never fully replicate that human touch. I mean, yes, the logic and algorithms that were created out of what has happened before. I said that earlier. They are just probably like a data set. So for instance, you want to enhance your image, you want to do like a photo reels and all that, and on your Instagram. A template has been used before, and that's why when you go to, for instance, maybe like a CapCut, you want to create like a photo collage, they will tell you this is the one that has the highest views or something. So those AI tools are just used to reduce the number of hours that we normally use to create things like photo collages, photo books, editing a picture and all that. So for me, it's not a threat. It's just more like you need to use it to suit your kind of images that you create. Don't use it too much. I've seen images recently that look robotic. I mean, that's not really, you are not preserving the artistic view that we're actually, that we are supposed to be having in this age. I know the Da Vinci's, they were painting those years, but I mean, now we should have images that really look like, I mean, if I shoot Toke should look like Toke, not like an avatar kind of a look of, even though they use makeup and all that. So the preservation of our image is actually, it lies in the hands of our photographers. We shouldn't use the AI tool like the way, it should be overused. Yeah, maybe you are creating a cartoon of someone, that's a different thing entirely. But if you're actually shooting someone's wedding and the person looks like a cartoon, I mean, how would the person, receive, that kind of images from you? I mean, so to me, what I would say is, as a photographer, let's utilize the AI tools, but moderately, and not too much. Our images, the look and feel of our images should still look the same. If you look at my Instagram page, most of my images, I don't really do too many frequency separation and all that. I try to pick the face, make sure everything looks good, but I still leave, if anybody has a tribal mark, I leave the tribal mark there for you, because that is the authenticity of that image. If I remove all those things, then it means I'm actually portraying or showing a different person entirely. So AI, it has come to stay. Is a phase that we are in right now, and they are trying their best to limit. To enhance photographers' timing. I mean, for instance, it takes a lot of time to edit one image. Maybe it takes me like an hour. I don't know about Dami, but for me, sometimes an image for an hour, I can actually drop that same image on an AI tool. For instance, like imaging, and it will help me, brush and do all those things maybe within 2 minutes or something, because that thing has been set. Those presets has been set. And for instance, another advantage of AI to me is there are kind of presets that you can actually come across on those tools that sometimes you might not even think is possible. So is a way for us to to utilize those items. It's not free. You might have to pay the premium services, which of course are going to factor into the charges you're paying. You're giving your clients as well. But another hand is it helps me manage multiple customers. So for instance, like the last graduation that happened in University of Manitoba, I had a lot of clients. The only thing that was good for me was that I was able to, segment, all those pictures, make it into presets, and it was easy for me to just edit. If not, I would have run into trouble. You can having 15 people calling me at the same time for their pictures. So AI has its own pros and cons. It has its own, advantages and disadvantages. And I think we should adopt, or rather seize the opportunities around the advantages, and we should not see it as a threat to our
industry.
Yeah, our industry, because you cannot substitute human feel for any machine. It can only be like a look-alike, but it can never be like humans. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sorry, it's okay.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Erika's question. I'll come
back to I was just going to get to that.
Okay. From the story you said, just yesterday, I have a friend having her 40th soon, and she had done her pictures, so she was excited to show me the pictures, and we're looking at it, and she brought the first one. I'm like, the pictures are nice, but they don't look like you. And we went through over 50 pictures. I could only point to one or two that actually looked like her. All the other pictures, and she was like, yeah. I'm like, so why don't you return it to the person that gave it to you? Like, this is not me. It looks close enough, but it could easily pass for someone else. So yes, we should embrace AI and appreciate all that it will help us do. Like someone wrote here right now that I think it was Mr. Femi, that it helps us do repetitive work faster. Which is true. Yes. And there are times, as a writer, you could have this block and you just are not thinking right. It helps you put something into perspective, which is great. But we shouldn't rely solely on it and make it like, at times I find that it makes you feel redundant, because you just think, oh, why should I waste my time doing this? Let me quickly train to AI. And AI does the work. Then you realize that you're losing your creative mind, you're losing your abilities, you're losing your skills to the machine, because you're kind of like relying on it now. So 2 questions I want to pose to you guys now is one from Mr. Emeka. Thank you, Mr. Emeka. You've been really engaging. I appreciate it. Is how do we protect your intellectual property from from being stolen? Again, people go online and they just put things together, and it brings me to the fact that how do are there still copyright laws anymore because of what technology is doing to us? We are all guilty. I don't want to point to only myself. I'll just say we are all guilty. We tend to just see this thing, I like it, I can crop this other picture into this, and it makes it one, and we are good to go. So how have you been protecting yourself and your work? 1, 2, we see a lot of pictures online, and I know you can sell these pictures, especially if you use the Canvas, if you use Google. There are places people sell pictures. So some people, as an hobby, they take this very good pictures. I have a friend, she's Filipino. I'm like, you should start doing a business, because with her phone, she takes magical pictures. And I know there are opportunities for you to sell those pictures. So if you can share some of those opportunities with us, I'm sure it would be great for our audiences. I see Mr. Tunde wants to show on the line as well. It takes amazing pictures, and videos as well. But how can we leverage technology to make money out of this as a side also for ourselves? And secondly, how do we protect our intellectual properties? Maybe we can start from Dami, and then we'll go to Tunde.
Sorry, okay. Can I just add to my question? I think Tunde touched on it.
Okay.
So, people are fascinated at times. We've evolved with digital technology. But if you notice, for every gain or advantage, there are tons of disadvantages. Social media is actually antisocial. Technology that helps us digitally copy aids stealing. Artificial intelligence emerges from machine learning, data learning. But I define it more. People talk about it as artificial intelligence. It's not intelligence. What doesn't have common, like they say, common sense is not common. And they talked about it. The human touch, which people disregard, and we think we're not special because we're human. That's what makes us special. We are the only inhabiting a postcode in the universe that we know of. So artificial intelligence, like I said in the chat, I define it more as acquiring intelligence, because all it does is scrub up. It's just sponging up repetitively. So that's why you see the way who created the algorithms now, because they dodge the ethical approval part. Now they're always chasing when they create or give birth to something that runs out of the control of inventiveness. So what is done is it scrubs up all our dirty habits online. It copies. But because it's emerging from machine learning and data learning, it's now in the realm of being able to do it quicker with quantum computing processing, and it's able to do what they call bulk data. Now, I've dealt with bulk data running into hundreds of thousands of data sets. And I'm that sort of old school person. I like to do things I can control. So I don't fall for this voodoo, the illusion, the bravado of, all that is, the more you look, the less you see. Where there's no substance, but there's a lot of, freaks. So my question basically emanates on Tunde, Dami, and others are doing great work. And like Tunde touched on, which I'm sure Dami and the others will agree on. Take, for example, you go to take pictures of a wedding like yours. You're trying to capture the essence, the focus of that event. That's why I talked about visual storytelling, the emotions, or the tragedy, the happiness, the joy, the cheer. A machine can never do that. It doesn't think the way humans do. It thinks in terms of data and tries to understand, if at all that's even possible, from a machine. It's soulless. So it will never achieve what a human can do. So in asking that question that I posted on the chat, I have an idea of the answer, which I always tell people I mentor or teach. Create a niche. And that niche comes from us doing what AI does, but doing it better. Understanding what problem, the issue, the focus, the challenge, the aspiration, whatever it is, and then emanating the solutions or the creativity from that, and doing it with a niche, so that Damel's photography might be different from Tunde's, even though it's storytelling or visual storytelling, the same subject material. But anyway, I'll leave it to the experts.
Nice one.
Thank you so much for your input.
In relation to your, in reference to your question, where you said, how do you protect your intellectual property rights from digital copying or stealing? The only way that I know that has worked for me to do that, where it has been a huge success, where my intellectual property and rights, were not stolen, was for me to never display it. Yeah, that's it. Never display it. It's on my hard drive. You never see it. But the moment you display it on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook, or your social media, you have given that right away. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, there are copyright laws. That's the truth. They are. Look, there was a time I even did something and I said, you know what, guys? I created some wallpapers. And I said, these are free wallpapers. Everybody can take them. And people started copying the wallpapers. They were like, thanks, so this is nice. Now, do you know how many wallpapers and designs I put up on my status on social media that nobody told me they took, but they actually screenshot or downloaded?
The grandmas are on that table.
Exactly. You understand? So the only way you cannot have your intellectual property stolen is if you don't show it. If nobody sees it. Look, I have dozens of hard drives, physical hard drives. I have stuff on the cloud, right? But if I never share it with anybody, nobody will see it. I have some colleagues who have done some amazing work that have been crying foul because when they go around the country, they see in traffic some of these guys who sell their online work. They've printed and done frame, like 5 feet by 6 feet frame, that they are making more money off the photo than the person who actually created the image. Why? Because that image has been shared online. So what I tell people is this: look, the moment you do that, get ready to lose it. Okay? Get ready to lose it, especially if it is an artwork. There are so many makeup artists in this country, I don't know about anywhere else, but in Nigeria, that have photos of brides on their salon doors and windows that they did not do the makeup of. I can tell you that's one. Because I've seen a few of my own clients, and I'm like, it is not you that did the makeup of that lady. You understand? But where did you get it from? So, look, AI is here to stay. I understand the maker's angle, and I see where he's coming from, because the truth is, there may come a time where we may have no control over these things. We've seen several movies where, automated machines and everything take over. There's this particular one, I don't remember the name right now, where the robot was a nanny. The movie came out last year, or was it 2 years ago?
It.
Yeah, the robot was a nanny, and then just took over the home and everything. You understand? So these things are here, and no matter how hard we try, there will be policies that would come in favor of it. There will be laws that will come in favor of it. There will be underground work that will come in favor of it. Things would always happen. But look at how you can do your own thing. Do you understand? Technology has its good and its bad. Some will say, guns should never be created. You have guns, people who use guns, they use it to kill people. But you also have guns, people who use guns to protect people.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want any knife around. But is that knife used to slice your turkey? Even though it's the same knife someone can use for nefarious activities. Do you understand what I'm saying? So AI is here. We have to adapt to it, like I made reference to the issue of the thing about the remote control. It is here to stay. Do you understand? Right now, somebody created this platform we are using to have this conversation, Zoom. Right? I'm using my laptop now. I'm sitting here miles away. Somebody created a speaker for me to talk to. I mean, today is talking to a speaker. You are there. You've even changed the background of where you are. Hello. So these things, we just have to adapt. I remember back in school, there was this place in Unilag where you want to type you want to do your project. You go under to the basement, and the guy will be typing. So you can imagine how many students you'll be typing and printing for. But right now, from your phone, you can send it. I can send something from my phone to your printer in Canada. You need to print it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Drag and drop, copy and paste, and all of that. So, in as much as many people don't see the positives of where we are right now, and I understand where they're coming from. And again, let me even bring something in here. Religion, pardon me, and I know it's sensitive, but religion is also playing a role in this. They're going to use technology to do this. This is the devil now coming. This is how it will start. And everything, they're going to use that to be able to identify you, and all of those kind of things and everything. Look, there was a time, right? We did not have ATM cards. Anything you wanted to do was cash. Everything was cash. Right now, how many of you actually carry around cash? Some don't even carry their cards anymore. You have your Apple Pay and Samsung Pay on your phone. And you just, how many of you, when you're traveling now, have a physical boarding pass? You don't. You just open up the thing on your phone, and you place it on the QR code scanner, and you move into your flight. So technology is here to stay. We just have to look at how we can separate the wheat from the chaff.
I mean, just to take it up, I mean, I don't know if I have much time again. It's okay. I mean, to protect your intellectual property, as I said, to me, I think apart from autographing your work, also be willing to sell your work. So I know there's an application online which is called Envato. Envato is like an animated kind of website whereby people create templates and sell them on that website. Now, I don't pay directly to the person that made it, but it's just like Apple Music. You sing a song, you put it on Apple Music. So many people can download it and and just put it on a CD and make money out of it. But of course, Apple Music will pay you. So you can never protect everything as a whole, but the little one you can do is plug it into places where you can make money from it, autograph it, then also keep evolving in your creativity. I mean, I know a photographer that his image are never alike, even though it's the same, like it's the same concept. It keeps evolving. In that way, you're protecting, your images. And as you said, AI is replicating what has done before. It's just working on algorithms, data, things that have been done before. In that way, you're not caught unaware. In that way, people tend to look towards you rather than going for the artificial intelligence template. So I mean, human, as I said, we're dynamic in nature. We keep creating, we keep evolving. The only thing that can make us protect our intellectual property is to keep evolving our creativity and making things look different. Even if it's the same thing, just make it look different. If you're singing in a different way. If you're taking a picture, take a picture in a different angle. There are different angles. I mean, if I take a picture now, that means take the same person, they are never alike. Number one, the way he handled his camera, the way he positioned his camera, the focus, everything will be different. So keep evolving in your image creation, keep evolving in your editing, and of course, you're going to be protecting your intellectual property. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I know I said we're not going to take longer than an hour, and it's been so interesting. It feels like we should go on and on and on. But I know Tunde is very tight for time, and Damel is also about 6 hours away from us. So I will just take our last words. If we have questions, please let's feel free to post them or comment. And then I'll take our last remark from both of us. We can start from Tunde and then we'll move to Damel, and then we close it up from there. Thank you. So Tunde, go first.
Can you repeat your question? I didn't get that. I know you said
I was saying we should take our last remarks for the day.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toke, for giving this opportunity to be on this platform. And I'm just going to encourage somebody on this platform, if you want to go into photography, as Elia said, I think you should start from where you are. Start with your phone. If you don't have a phone, borrow someone's phone and take the picture and copy it out of it. And do a lot of research on YouTube. I mean, take like a couple of weeks, just go on YouTube. We'll look at how things are being done. Things are being simplified right now online. And also attend free webinars, conferences. There are a lot of it right now. Like this particular one is a free one. It's informative. Always plug yourself into this kind of events. It will help you not to lose touch on what the journey you're actually planning to embark on. And I believe so strongly that the sky is the limit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamel.
Photography is beautiful. The fact that you can think in multi-dimensions, you can see something and it hits you differently and you want to express that. That shows that you have some innate skills that are seeking expression. And information is available everywhere right now. Data is cheap and it's free. Like what Tunde just said, this is a free event right now. YouTube is available. There are online magazines and journals and free training sessions. Do not give up. If you have a sibling, a loved one, anyone who's been talking to you about, getting into photography, encourage them to just not give up. there's so much out there to learn. There's so much out there, to do and to be a part of. So what I'll just say is start from where you are at this particular point in time. If it means that you need to maybe go borrow a friend's camera for a bit, I mean, they have to trust you first of all to be able to do that. But then again, go out, take your phone, go out to the streets, go to the beach, go to the club, go to a friend's place. Start off with shooting the cars, the street lights. Go to the park. Just create something, and as you create different things, you see your interest beginning to go in a particular direction that you need to develop more of. And from there, you just never know how far you're going to go. So keep at it, and the sky is really not the limit. It's way beyond the sky at this point.
Thank you so very much. I was one last question. I know I said I'd ask the last question, but do you guys offer training sessions or stuff like that people can take advantage of? I've shared your LinkedIn profile, so yes, people go ahead to their DMs or their LinkedIn and chat them up. But do you offer training programs in Canada or in Nigeria? And could we actually get a session out of you guys, both of you, to train people if you're interested? Virtually.
Okay, so what we do, there's this amazing organization that I'm a part of in Nigeria. It's called NIFEC, right? That's Nigeria Photography, like an exhibition and all of that. It's basically the biggest, and it's organized by this amazing friend of mine, Shinwaki Somi. And it's an organization that brings amazing photographers and from all cadres together. So we try to have like yearly events and trainings and things like that. And when that doesn't happen, individually, at this point in time, I'm not taking up like mentees in quote right now. But what we're doing is, what we can do is when we have events, right? And it's going to be, and it's like you're interested in event photography, right? We can bring you in. All right, come and see what happens on the field. Let's test your mettle a bit and see what you can do. But when we want to start off to do like training sessions, then we'll make that public for everybody.
Okay.
I think for me also, I was just planning with one of my colleagues here in Winnipeg as well, and because we have very few here in Winnipeg, and the job is numerous. It's numerous that we sometimes turn down customers because we can actually keep up with everything. So what I plan to do was to for this particular summer, we're actually thinking of doing something for students that are probably like out of high school, interested in photography, or even if they're not just coming out of high school, people that generally have interest. So we're planning to do something like a collaboration and maybe use one of the community centers and maybe do one on site. From there, then we can probably move them to online 4 weeks training. But of course, we needed to get that to the level of knowing what we wanted to do. So I believe she traveled. Once she's back this week, we'll get it concluded. And of course, I can pass the information to you, and so people in Winnipeg can seize the opportunity, and those are on this platform can join us online for the other sessions.
Thank you very, very much. I see a lot of my ogas, my friends on the session today. Thank you very much for joining in from Nigeria, from the UK, from here in Canada. It happens every once in a month, last Friday of the month, and we try to bring experts from both, continents or around the world to come talk with us, chat with us on subjects matter for today. So thank you again for your time. Thank you, and then we'll see you next month by God's grace. Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, Dami. Nice to meet you.
Thank you today.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Yeah. All right, okay. Thank you, everyone.